guys. How is everybody? I hope this is working. My brand new computer. So I've only had it a couple days and I've used the camera at all. Okay, there's 5 viewers. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Strange than normal. I mean, my coloring is so weird in this screen. I don't know what to pull myself up on. I forgot completely how to go live because it's been so long since I've been on a computer. And on your phone, you just have to click one button. So this is a treat. I am so thrilled to be able to not have to hold a phone and be able to see a little bit more of what's going on and see the chat. So let's see here. I've not done this in so long. It took me about 10 minutes to figure out what buttons to push again. Okay, here I am. See, does my coloring look so, it's so, like I'm in the X-Files or something being interrogated. It's all yellow. Hey, Uber. Hey, Shell. Yellow, it is yellow, Uber. I don't know how to fix that. You always look really good on your screen, Uber. Are there change? I mean, I imagine there are. Camera. Hey, Positive Bluebird. People are hopping around like crazy. Well, listen, I haven't watched a whole lot of YouTube, and I certainly haven't been on, but the things I've been seeing, I was about not to come back on. If that's what you mean. Hey, Miss Bethy. Yeah, so how do you change your, I'll have to play around with that. Because one of the reasons, really the main reason I got this computer, I know you all know that mine stopped working. Gosh. So I haven't had one. I mean, I can do a little bit on my computer, but not really. But hopefully I'm going to be using possible job. So I need it to be working really well. And the guy at Office says it was a good camera, so I need to get yellow. I'm to the point where I don't know who to trust, but I figure if they're nice to me, I'll be nice back. LOL, it's too confusing. That's about all you can do. I've got a lot of thoughts on all that, but seems like if you kind of just go into it with fun and not really expect a lot in return, and if you do get something in return, like a real friend, then that's a plus. I think being suspicious is a very good thing. Hey, Jamie. Make some more mods too. I'll have to pull the chat up on here, which it's going to take me a minute because now I can't remember how to do that. I'm going to have to relearn all of this, but you all can see me and hear me okay? Yeah, I don't know how anybody can keep up with all the drama on YouTube about who's fighting with who and who upset whom without watching 24/7. So I still have a lot of really great people that I keep in touch with pretty much outside of YouTube. And they will always be a gift to me from the drama that I initially started in on, which everybody knows about. Good to see you, Silver Fox. So you're cutting out, I'm cutting out a bit. It's best not to keep up with any of it, that's for sure. I agree, Shell. I mean, I definitely have opinions about everything. The one thing I do want to say just briefly before I move on my little best of 2017, I've enjoyed so much watching other people's, a lot of makeup gurus and people that I watch have done best of 2017 and have included things, not just makeup. And I really enjoyed that. So I threw together a few things this afternoon and I do want to go over that and just share them with you. But talking about the drama briefly, which I want to focus it on addiction because that sort of leads into, I guess, a lot of the current drama and the past drama too. I've been very, very open about my extreme difficult path with becoming addicted to opiates about 5 years ago, and how it took everything in the world from me. I mean, it destroyed my life, it destroyed my body, it destroyed everything. And how I got to that point was different than everybody has a different story how they get there. Have the wherewithal, the courage, the strength, the hope, the audacity of hope to come out on the other side and to be in recovery, particularly from opiates. I've said this many, many times, you are a superhero. And nobody can take my recovery from me. Nobody could say an unkind word to me or about me that would make me think less of myself. So anything that's been said towards other people about their recovery, I don't care who you are, but if you, as a person, you are a recovering addict and you are actively working on your recovery, you are a hero. You are a hero. So please, the few things that I've heard back and forth in regards to that, or anybody trying to take anything from me or think that they are going to insult me or shame me or make me feel bad about anything in my life, all I can say is you must not have a clue of what I've gone through, because I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. I've a lot of things that I've a lot to be ashamed about. But where I am today, I'm very, very proud of. So a lot of people are like, how do you not let things bother you when people tell lies about you or betray you or say things that aren't true? How does that not bother you? And it's because I've already been through the worst. No, nothing could be worse than what I've been through personally, and how I lost the trust of my friends and family and had to earn it back. So please don't let anybody take anything away from you. Those people around me that I see on YouTube who are in recovery and who are open about their stories, who are open about the shameful things that they did in their past that addiction led them to, and we all have them. I have said many times, I guarantee you mine are much worse than you probably are even imagining about me. But all of that is to say, recovery gives you many gifts. And one of the gifts is you are able to stop caring about things that don't matter and the people that don't matter. So just to say that. I did want to, hey, Bless. I did just want to comment on that about recovery, particularly because nobody should have to have anybody undermine their recovery by any sort of slam or slight or anything that they might say, particularly about somebody who hasn't been there before. Laugh that off, brush it off. They don't have a clue, and hopefully they will never have a clue. But I find it hard to believe nowadays that someone themselves hasn't dealt with it, either them from their own journey or from somebody that they care about very deeply. And I know that my story was very, very hard to live through, but the people that loved and cared about me, they suffered just as much. They truly are still suffering because of it, because of the bad decisions I made. And you reap what you sow. Just because you are sober now or because I'm sober now doesn't mean that everything's okay, and that all the decisions that I made when I was an active addiction, I'm still having to pay for them, very much so. So, okay. Yes, no one's perfect or a saint, no judgment. And, you know, we touched on this many, many months ago. It's weird it's coming back up again, but I would, if I had my preference about who to hire, who to rent an apartment to, who to buy a car from, whatever it might be, and I happen to know one was a recovering addict versus not, I would pick the recovering addict. I know that might sound really biased, and of course I do have a bias to it, but these people strength and character in my belief. That is not a negative, and you should never be ashamed to say that you are what your story is and where you've come, because you are a superhero. The amount of physical and mental and spiritual strength that you have had to muster to get to the place in your life, to me, I think that is, I would much rather spend time with and put my trust into a recovering addict, truthfully. So, oh, that's okay, Uber. Who you talking to, girl? You just a busy woman, aren't you? Oh, wow. Wow, Bluebird. Yeah, some people are in it for many, many years, and some people just have a brief moment. And it is harder when you are in active addiction for long periods of time, because it changes your brain chemistry, and your brain has to recover and rebuild itself. So I was lucky that I was not in it for a very long time, but it still was incredibly hard. But for those people who have done it for 10, 20 years, God bless them. They require even more strength, and therefore, in my opinion, um, deserve more respect. So anyway, that's my little spiel about addiction. I saw this quote that I wrote down when I was writing down my favorite things just a few minutes ago. It says, "It's not that heroin that makes an addict, or cocaine, or whatever it might be." This one just was heroin. It says, "It's not heroin that makes an addict. It is the need to escape from a harsh reality." And whatever that harsh reality might be that you're escaping from varies. And it might be many things that make your reality harsh. But that is very, very apparent when you become sober. Your harsh reality is still right there. Whatever led you to that addiction in the first place, mine was physical pain, extreme, extreme physical pain. Um, it was an encouragement to keep using, and it certainly was still there when I basically was forced to become sober. So that's what I mean. The people who are in active recovery, they're still living with that harsh reality, and they're finding healthier, better ways, more authentic, true ways to deal with their harsh reality. And I think that's incredibly admirable. And these people have a lot to teach us, in my opinion. I would much rather sit at the feet of somebody who has gone through hell and has found a way to live soberly than somebody who has never had to touch that and never had to go to those depths. So there's my little spiel about that. So 2017 favorites. Oh, and I wanted to tell you just a little update about what's been going on with me, because I know a lot of people have been asking. I've been talking to people privately, but last time I saw you, I was making the creme brulee, and I apologize I never came back on to finish that. And believe it or not, I didn't even end up bruleeing them. I can't remember. I think that's when we had yes, it was. It was right when we had our first snowstorm. And I was going to get the root canal, finally going to get my teeth fixed. Well, couldn't end up doing that. Didn't end up bruleeing. We ended up, I gave some to a neighbor and I ate some. And anyway, so I never even finished that. But I was supposed to be getting my cast off and going to get my root canal fixed, my tooth fixed. Well, none of that has happened. I got my cast put back on for another 3 weeks. So it'll be coming off this coming Tuesday, hopefully, if everything's okay. So that'll be a total of 9 weeks non-weight bearing. I'm about to die, y'all. I'm so ready to get this thing off. So that's coming up, and then I went and met with my endodontist, and he was not able to do the root canal just yet because it was so inflamed that I had to do another round of antibiotics and prednisone to get the pain and the inflammation down. So I'm still holding off on that. So not much has changed medically. So that's just an update for all those who have asked. Thank you so much for asking. And something that I'm going to be having coming up that I'm very excited about. As I said, I've been watching a little bit, but not very much, and very turned off by some people I trusted that, not really people, a person I trusted that ended up not being who I thought she was. That about made me just not want to care about YouTube anymore. And just so much ugliness, so much fighting and meanness. I think everybody is saying that. Who wants to be a part of that? So I really thought long and hard about what I wanted to do and if this was a positive place for me or if I could do anything to be positive and not bring more negativity. So I had an idea of interviewing 5 of the YouTubers that I admire the most, the people that I want to know more about, that I really look up to and respect. So that's is going to be coming up from me. Hey, artist. Hey, Ricky. So what I'm going to do is I've already secured 3 of the interviews, and I'm still deciding about the other 2 and seeing if the people want to participate. But what I'm going to do, hopefully, if it all works out, is I'm going to tape an interview with one of these 5 people each day or each couple days, and I'll put it up. And I'll put it up as a live stream, even though it won't be a live stream. Like I said before, that's the easiest way I know how to record something and get it up quickly. So if you see that in the next day or 2, I should have at least one of those interviews up, maybe tomorrow. It'll come up as a live stream, but it's like I said, it'll just be, I'll record it as a live stream and then I'll put it on private. And then when I'm ready to put it up, I'll just turn it into active. So that's what you'll see. And hopefully that'll go well. I'm really excited about the people who have agreed to do these interviews with me. And if you have any suggestions about who you would like to see interviewed, questions that you would like to ask, and not just your typical, tag-like questions, but really more thought-provoking, in-depth questions, let me know. You can either put it in the comment section or text me or put it on Twitter, whatever you want to do. Let me know if you nominate anybody, okay? Or if you have a guess about who one of the 5 people might be. Hey, Mordecai. Okay, thanks for coming by, Bluebird. So on to my list here, and I literally just kind of was looking around. I didn't think I would qualify for doing one of these 2017 lists because I really haven't bought a lot in 2017. Definitely spent 90% of my energy and time and any money I had on medical equipment and visits and that kind of thing. So I didn't really think that would be very interesting for you to see best bandage to use and best antibacterial cream. So I thought, I don't have all those fancy makeup items and things like that to show you all, but I just looked around and it turns out I did have a lot of new products that I use on a daily basis or use often enough that I thought, well, this is something that I started using this year and has really made a difference, or something I've watched. I also have different like TV shows and things like that included on here that you might find interesting. So this is kind of a low budget version of 2017 favorites. So I just brought out a bag here and grabbed a few things that I had around the house. And actually the bag itself, away. Ricky, you would be a very good interviewer. Who knows? Maybe you're one of the 5. Oh, thank you, Casey. Oh, thank you, Michelle. All right, so let's get started with some of the things I don't have in front of me, the first one being one of them. And some of these are going to be questions, like if anybody has a dupe for one of these or an alternative. And I actually have a couple things that I thought were the worst products I've used in 2017. So we're a little bit all over the place. The first one was dry shampoo. I don't know if anybody here uses dry shampoo. I'm a huge, huge believer in dry shampoo, and probably just started using it this past year because I was a wash your hair every day kind of girl for sure. And I have very, very fine, thin hair. So number one, that's not really good for anybody to wash their hair every day, but I couldn't stand it because I can't stand greasy hair. But if you can find the right dry shampoo, not only does it let you skip a day washing your hair, but also gives you body, which has been my dream, has been my conquest since I've been young. I've always wanted big Dolly Parton hair. So the best dry shampoo that I've found that's not super expensive has been the Tresemme. I'm using one right now that's awful, and like sometimes they smell terrible. But that's been my favorite. So if anybody has a good alternative to Tresemme, let me know. I can get the Tresemme. I just ran out, so I didn't have any to show you. But first favorite of 2017, Tresemme dry shampoo. Smells good, gives you a nice amount of body without having that white spray, which is okay for me since I have blonde hair, but I can't imagine if you had dark hair using the dry shampoos that come out white. The next thing I'm going to show you with all my stuff in it is actually this is my most complimented item of 2017, I'd say. And it is a handmade purse from Mexico, actually. My mom brought it back from Mexico, and it's made out of that. I might have shown you all this before. I'm not sure. It's very stiff, like it would be waterproof, spill-proof, everything, which is another great reason for me. But it's made out of, I guess, like those pieces of plastic. I'm not really sure exactly what you call it, but I carried this all summer long and got so many compliments on it. It's very big. You can throw a lot in there. And like I said, I like it because you can be really rough on it and it doesn't get too beat up. So that's my first or my second favorite from 2017. And I'm just going to grab some things out of here and show you one at a time what they are, and we'll go through them, okay? Like I said, I'm not sure how many are in here. There might be 17. There might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less. Cannabis, green and gold. Listen, I hope cannabis is on my list. Medical cannabis soon, Ricky. That would, my list would stop right there if I could get my hands on some medical cannabis. Because you know, that's my main issue. You know, is dealing with pain. So I hope so. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth Huff. My lipstick, it's actually, I didn't bring it out here, but I can go run and get it. It's actually 2 different ones I put on top. There might be 3. It has like a light pink and then a little bit darker and then a gloss. I'm not sure what the names are, but. Okay, next favorite thing. This is another hair product. And I told you about these when I was doing the creme brulee. You can see that my hair has a little bit more body. And this is day 2 hair also, and day 2 curl. So I've had this in my hair for 2 days, and you can see it's just kind of wavy right now. And I use these curlers. I got these for Christmas, and I love them. I didn't even ask for them, but I was so tickled that my mom got these for me. They're those bendable kind, and I threw the box away. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but you know, you just twist your hair up. Take a piece of hair, very easy to do. And I start like right here and just twist away. And you can turn them however you want. You can turn them sideways. You can turn them this way, depending what way you want the curl to go. And then you just bend them. Well, that didn't stay very well. But anyway, you get it to stay like that, or you do it like that. It doesn't matter. And so they just stay like that. You don't have to put any extra clips in them. Depending on how tight you want the curl, you can put a little bit of styling product in your hair. I try to do mine when it's a little bit wet, not too wet still, but a little bit wet. You don't have to use any heat, which is great. So if you're trying to protect your hair from heat damage, these work really, really well. Let's see, 6, 8, there's 12 in a pack too, which I use all of them in my hair usually, but you don't have to. And my hair is very thin. So if you have really thick hair, you might need to get 2 packs. But these have been really fun, really, really fun to give me kind of a different look. So that's my next favorite. Oh, thank you. Like I said, I've always wanted big hair. You always want what you don't have, right? And I've always wanted kind of bigger. I used to tease my hair a lot in high school. That's probably why I don't have a lot anymore. I actually have a couple hair products on here. Um, but yeah, it's fun too because it gives you more body too. So when you pin it up, it looks pretty good. And I don't know. I like bigger hair. So those have been a fun new product. Okay. Next beauty product that I have loved, and I think I did just start using these this past year, although I think they've been around for a while. One thing that I used to hate, Stephanie, used to hate to do is wash my face at night. And it just drove me crazy because I hated getting water all over the sink and down my, on my nightgown. And I just hated it. So oftentimes I would skip washing my face at night, which is a very, very bad habit to not wash your makeup off at night. So I have been using these makeup wipes. And actually, Rebecca from It's Your Girl Rebecca, she had an awesome idea, which I know probably a lot of you already know, but I saw her add that, is it micellar water? Is that how you pronounce it? You can add some or makeup remover to a pack of these if they're not wet enough for you. And I use these at night. I know it's not a lot of exfoliating, so I do that in the morning. But just to get my makeup off so I don't sleep in makeup, use these makeup removers or these little, makeup wipes. And there's all different kinds. I try to make sure I don't get any that are made in China, but these I got for Christmas. And they're almost gone. I love them so much. So much. Not only are they a little bit thicker, but they they just smell like absolute heaven. I don't even want to take one out and waste it because I'm down to just a few left. But they are from Laura Ashley. And they are with vitamin E and apricot extract, which I think apricot is one of my all-time favorite smells. I think I've said that to y'all before. When I was a little girl, and strawberry shortcake was really big. My sister was strawberry shortcake, and I was apricot. I don't know if you remember that little doll. You'd squeeze her, and she'd blow you a kiss, and it would smell like apricot. So this brought me back to my childhood too. I about cried when I when I got these, and they're just so pretty. I don't know if you can see that pattern. That typical Laura Ashley pattern. And my mom said she got these at Tuesday Morning, believe it or not. And I don't think there was a lot of them left. And I haven't gone online to look for these. So if anybody knows where I can get some more of these Laura Ashley apricot wipes would be great. But any kind of makeup wipe, great find for me for 2017. Probably for a lot of you all, you've already been using. Yeah, it's Laura Ashley, Jamie. Oh, Marshall's. They used to have a Marshall's right up the road and it closed down. I'm not sure there's close by Marshall's. Yes, there is. What am I talking about? I go to Marshall's all the time. Duh. I'm sorry about that, Melissa. I'll have to look there. So another great find. It just makes me happy. I love things that smell good. I'm going to show you this that's sitting right next to me because it's two of my favorite things put together. And I have it in the sunroom. And like I said, I've just got this computer, so I've been working out there. I've had it for about 2 days. So I sit out in the sunroom and it's been snowing. We've got this beautiful, beautiful snow. And maybe tomorrow I'll show you, or I'll put some pictures on my Twitter that I took today. The whole, well, you can kind of see right back there. The whole wall is windows. So I can see the gorgeous snow. It looks like I'm in the forest. And I've got this plant sitting right by me that I got for Christmas too, that it grows like several inches every day and makes me just so happy. So this is what I've been watching the past couple of days, working on my new computer, which has been such a thrill to have. But this is a paperwhite bulbs. It's actually 3 different bulbs in here, which I just, I love plants. But the reason why I want to show you this is, number one, this pot, which is so beautiful. I just realized that it was the third one of my favorite things. I love fleur-de-lis. And this is my like upcoming color of 2018. I saw Sugar Puff and Fluff was talking about this color, which is supposed to be like the most all the rage, um, purses and shoes and like as a highlight color. This is supposed to be really popular. It's like an aubergine. They're calling it oxblood though, and I actually have a nail polish I just got that is the same color. They call it Justin Wine, but it's that, yeah, kind of burgundy wine color, but it's got a little bit more, I don't know, of an undertone to it. That for some reason they call it oxblood. So I thought that was a beautiful pot. And then look at these doll babies. They're just about to burst open. So they're not quite a month old. Like I said, I got this at Christmas time. And I'm sure when they open, they're going to smell like heaven. But this has brought me so much joy. And I put these little glass beads in the top too to kind of make it look like water. And I know it's just a very simple, basic thing, but it has made me so happy to have these, to sit there and to look at them grow each day. So that's my next thing. All right, guys. Okay, let's see what else I have in here. This is something I've talked about, but I just can't help but to not show you again because it is my all-time favorite mascara, and I got another pack in my stocking, as a matter of fact, for Christmas. I just cannot find a better mascara than this L'Oreal Voluminous. I like the curved brush, particularly with the shape of my eye. It really helps get all the eyelashes at once, and I find that I don't have to curl my eyelashes when I use this. And it's just the best, and it lasts forever. Like one mascara will last at least a month for me, usually longer. And I use it every day, and I use a lot of it. So absolute favorite. This is in 340 black. So thought I'd show you that again because it's just, to me, the I have not had a lot of high-end mascaras, but it doesn't matter. Drugstore high-end, no matter what I've tried, I've always come back to that Voluminous. And I have a lot of people ask me what I use. Yeah, it's the little things that make you happy. Gabby, isn't that the truth? Okay, this is a health product / hair product. I just realized I have several hair products. But this is something I started using about 6 months ago, and it really has made a difference. It's biotin, which I know probably everybody's heard of, is good for your hair, skin, and nails. But I really struggled, speaking of addiction, particularly when I was in active addiction, I lost a lot of my hair. And I didn't have any hair to lose, if you know what I mean. So it really made me self-conscious. And I know everybody had told me to use biotin in the past, and I'd used it before. But it turns out, like the biotin that you would get in a normal multivitamin, or even a lot of the biotin that they sell individually, doesn't have enough in it. My hairdresser told me that you need at least 5,000 milligrams of biotin to make a difference daily. So that's a lot. And I found these little packs of biotin. That's all it is. I also take a multivitamin at the dollar store. And they taste really good, first of all. They don't have any preservatives or unnatural product in them. And I can't remember where they're from, but I know I made sure that they weren't coming from China. Because I'm always checking for that, particularly if something that you're going to eat. So they're little gummies, and they have 5,000 milligrams for 2, and there is enough in here for 6 days, I believe. So for $1, excuse me, you can get your daily dose of biotin. And the reason why I know that these work, first of all, you probably can't see, but I've got these little hairs that have started to grow since I've started using them. Okay, there you can kind of see. Do you see how long that is? That's like almost 1.5 inches worth of growth that was not there before. And I ran out of these right before Christmas and didn't have them for probably about 2 weeks, and my hair started falling out. So anybody who is looking for a good way to shape up your hair and nails, you might want to look at this biotin. So if you think about it, you can get a month's worth for $4. That's pretty good. Okay, what else we got here? On to some cooking items. I didn't really have, I looked around briefly in the kitchen to see if there was like any new great cooking gadget or something that I got this year that I couldn't live without, and nothing jumped out at me. But I did want to say as in terms of a cooking show, and I'm going to show you the best cookbook that I got this year. I used to watch the Food Network, and actually more specifically the Cooking Network, constantly. When I guess when it was, it wasn't first around, but I would say about 5 years ago. They used to have so many great shows, and honestly, it taught me a lot about cooking. And I don't know what has happened. I know that's turned all into like game shows and contests and a lot of like Chopped and bake-offs and things that I just I'm not really interested in. So I found this lady who happens to live in North Carolina. She lives, as a matter of fact, about 30 minutes away from me, that has an awesome cooking show on public television. And she's got a great restaurant, she's got a great cooking show, and she's got an awesome cookbook. So she wins the award for my culinary favorite, all around favorite for 2017. And I've talked about her before, but it's Vivian Howard. And she's got a show on whatever public television you have called A Chef's Life. And I remember I had seen A Chef's Life several years ago. I think it's been on for about 4 years. So about 4 years ago, and I didn't even know she was from North Carolina. I only saw like a little snippet of it, and I thought, oh, that's a really good show. So when I saw it again, I came back to reality, basically. I was like, oh yeah, I remember her. So it's not the fact that she's from North Carolina. You will love the show just as much if you like to cook. But it's called A Chef's Life on PBS. And this is her cookbook. It's called Deep Run Roots. That's the name of the town that she's from, is Deep Run, North Carolina. It's a little bitty hick town. And she's a very fancy New York trained chef. But her thing is the farm to table, where she really tries to use all native North Carolina ingredients and make them shine. And this cookbook, it's like a Julia Child encyclopedia cookbook, one of those where it has every very, very, very in-depth kind of cooking Bible. So it's one I would you can use as a weapon. I tell you what, if somebody gets in your way, but it's something that I will cherish for years, and I will read often. And I actually met her. She signed it for me. I've met her a couple times as she's gone on like book tours. Of course, it's very easy for me because she's close by, but she did a book tour of the South. I think she went as far as, well, no, I'm not sure how far up north she went or how far west she went, but if you were interested in cooking, oh, look, my color just got better. Did you see that? I don't know what happened. Y'all can tell I'm really out of practice. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Anyway, if you're interested in cooking at all, or like to watch people cook, or are in that area, apparently her restaurant is phenomenal. I've never been to it, but Vivian Howard, A Chef's Life. And speaking of TV, let me do a couple that I wrote down that are TV show related. Because as you know, like I said, I've been non-weight bearing for almost 9 weeks now. So imagine a lot of the time I spent was unfortunately watching TV, movies, that kind of thing. So a few of my items for 2017 favorites are TV related. So I just finished. I was what would I would call the best Netflix series, original Netflix series of 2017 was of course The Crown, which I know probably most people have watched. I just recently signed back up for Netflix, so I hadn't had it for about a year. So I watched season 1 and season 2 pretty quickly, and I just thought it was so well done. And that's not normally something I'd be really interested in, British history, but I learned a lot, which I thought was really cool. Um, and I just thought it was beautifully done. And even though it was a very long series, both of them, I couldn't wait. I mean, I can't wait for season 3 to come out. And I was wondering if anybody I'm looking for a good new series to start watching. I've watched Orange is the New Black, of course, House of Cards. I started watching, and I'm pretty much through with Peaky Blinders, which I've heard a lot of people talking about. Has anybody seen Peaky Blinders? It's kind of violent, but I would give it a B. I would give it a B. It's not as great as everybody, in my opinion, as everybody's making it out to be. There just doesn't, the storyline's kind of jumpy and it's not as believable as I usually like. But does anybody have a good series that they think that I would like on Netflix? If you do, let me know, because I'm kind of, sometimes I fall on these things by accident, but usually it's word of mouth. Somebody says, "Oh, I know you'll like this." So right now I'm Netflix lists when it comes to a series to go to. But I tell you what, I've got a guilty pleasure series that I finished on Netflix, embarrassingly enough. I thought it was so cute and I could not stop watching it, and it was Riverdale, and which I know is a TV show. Actually, it was on last night. I just happened to catch it by just on a whim and taped it. So I'm not sure how far they are into season 2, I guess. It might be season 3. I can't remember if it's season 2 or 3. But Riverdale, which is, I know, like a kind of a 90210 of my day. But I thought it was very entertaining, very cute. Has anybody seen Riverdale? I'm sure y'all have. You're probably not admitting it, but I bet you have. Ozark is good? Okay. Never heard of it, but I love that name. My dog, when I was little, was named Ozark. Oh, okay. Does he like Peaky Blinders? I tell you what, I'm becoming such an old woman. I have to put the closed captioning on because half the time I can't understand what they're saying. And their accents are very heavy, I know, and the dialogue's really quick. But the main guy in Peaky Blinders, oh God, he's so good looking. Okay, let me write down Ozark. Very interesting. Okay. What else do I have? Something else. Oh, okay. Netflix, The Crown, Riverdale. Artists, what movies have you seen that are good from Netflix? Because I can do a movie too. As a matter of fact, actually, no, this wasn't on Netflix. This happened to be on Showtime, which I don't know. I don't think I get all the time, but I think it was like a free weekend. And it was just breathtaking. It was such a beautiful film. And I know I was almost going to read the book, and I thought that this would have been a beautiful book. But has anybody seen The Light Between Oceans? Oh my gosh, just heartbreakingly painful to watch, but so beautifully acted. And the two main actors, um, I've never seen before, but they're kind of up and coming. The one is going to be the new Lara Croft, and I just forgot her name. But if you're into movies a lot, you would recognize the two people. But to me, it didn't have anybody real big name in it, which I kind of like. And it was absolutely so beautiful. The scenery was beautiful. The story was just so unique, and it was acted impeccably. So that was my favorite movie that I've seen. And I've seen that real recently. So I have to go back and think. I'm sure there's some other good movies in 2017. So we got our favorite TV show, favorite Netflix series, and favorite movie that I watched this past year. But if you have any, you like Riverdale also, Jamie? Is it in season 2 or 3? I can't remember. Yeah, as soon as I finished it, I was like, oh my gosh, when am I going to see the next one? And it was very confusing because when I looked it up, it acted like, and as a matter of fact, maybe it does this and I don't know how to do it. But from some of the comments people were making, it made it sound like they were streaming one episode at a time as it would come out on TV. They would stream it on Netflix of Riverdale, but I absolutely could not find that to be true. So if anybody knows different, let me tell me, because once you watch something, commercial free, it's very hard to watch it with commercials. Oh, and then another TV show, which I've talked about many times, and it just came back on, which just as a network TV show, as far as that goes, definitely the best of 2017 has to be This Is Us. Absolutely amazing. I cry every single time. Love everybody who's in it, love the storyline, love the director. It's won lots of awards, so I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. But if you have not seen This Is Us for some reason, I wish I was in your shoes because I'd love to see it all for the first time. It's one of those shows. So, okay, so we got favorite cooking show, favorite TV show, guilty pleasure movie. I think that's it as far as TV and movies is concerned. Okay, let's see what else I got in here. Just a few more things. Okay, I've got a best and worst makeup item. I already did the Voluminous mascara, so I should have kind of done this together. But this is a new item that I started using that I really liked. Drugstore foundation. This Almay has turned out to be really, really lovely. And in the past, I was using Clinique and had been for a while and really liked that. Didn't think that a drugstore foundation would compare, but this I think is probably as good as the Clinique I was using. And it's the Almay Age Essential Makeup. Mine's in light medium. It has SPF 15 in it. It's not a high coverage. And if you put it on with a beauty blender, it seems like it even gives a lighter coverage. But even though it doesn't feel like you're giving you a real thick coverage, it does the job really beautifully. I think it evens out my skin tone and very comfortable to wear. So this has been a very nice, pleasant surprise. I thought I'd just try it, and it turned out to be really great. So the Almay Age Essential Liquid Foundation. And then something I got it was right after Christmas. I just got this, and I don't know why I got it, because I think I just saw the colors and was so attracted to the color combination. But I know I've been saying for a while, in terms of makeup, that I want to. I've never bought a high-end makeup palette. Number one, they're very expensive, and going from paying $10 or less to paying $50 is like, ugh. But I've really been shopping around for what I would like to get, and I've been saying for months now, well, I wanted the Jaclyn Hill one, and which I still do, but it seems like the one that I keep when I see a look that I really like by somebody that I really trust makeup wise on YouTube, it is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. So I still want to get that. But just the other day, Melissa55, who I watch, said that a lot of people really like the Naked Decay Heat one. But she said that there was one that she liked even better. And I think I wrote it down. I think it's called Makeup Forever. that's on sale right now that wasn't too outrageously priced. And it was their like holiday one. But she said since she bought that one, she has not stopped. She's used it every single day that she's worn makeup. And I think that's what it was, makeup forever. I have to find out where I wrote it down. She had this lipstick I really liked, Chanel Cocoa Pink, that was really pretty, that I wrote down. But anyway, one I would absolutely not get. I don't know why I even picked this up. Luckily, it was very inexpensive, less than $10, was this CoverGirl. This thing, I might as well just smear it all over my face. It has so much fallout. It's ridiculous. And the colors are okay. I like that pink, the number 2, as just put on your lid. But I mean, half of the eyeshadow is underneath my eyes when I'm done. It has so much fallout, and the pigment is terrible. The blending is terrible. So I might as well just throw this thing in the trash, but would not recommend the CoverGirl. I don't know if all CoverGirl eyeshadows are this bad, but no bueno. So I did write down a few things that I do want to try for 2018, and the makeup palettes I was talking to you about. I do want to try one high-end eye palette, and like I said, it was in between those 3, the Jaclyn Hill, the Naked 3. But if this one that Melissa 55 was talking about is, as good as she says it is, then I'd like to try that one first. And I'm pretty sure it's by Makeup is Forever. Makeup is Forever. I need to get that. I need to make sure I get the right name. If that's not it, I'll correct it in a later video and let you know, okay? Okay, and that is pretty much it. I've got one last thing in my bag here, and I'll have to go make sure I got everything, look and make sure I wrote everything down. I said everything that I wrote down, excuse me. I've mentioned before that I really am into scents. I like things that scents bring back good memories or bad memories for me. So I always like to have a good scent around. And I do these wax melts. I always have one burning in my room and out here in the kitchen, in between the kitchen and dining room. And this has been such an awesome one. My sister gave me this for Christmas, and it's called Mermaid Tears, which you all know I love mermaids, but it is the perfect blend of, it's not too summery, like it doesn't smell like straight up suntan lotion, but it's like a coconut floral smell, and it is just so lovely. It's by Vapid Lacquer. You can see that.com. And my sister's real into, she like sells and trades these wax melts. So I assume that's where she got it, or maybe she got it from somebody that she traded with. But if y'all can find the scent, if you like a beachy smell, even though it's January, you don't feel like it's summertime. It just smells really, really nice. I don't know why it's called Mermaid Tears, but like I said, anything with mermaid in it, I like. Try this, Vapid Lacquer. And then one thing that I forgot to grab, but I just started using it, which is very easy to use and is a more holiday type smell, is just peppermint oil, which you can get pretty much anywhere. I know Walmart has a big selection of essential oils that you can use at the same place that you use these little wax melts. Put a couple drops of peppermint oil, and it smells like mint chocolate chip ice cream. It just is such a happy, kind of feels like a spa, kind of feels like Christmas time. It's a lovely smell this time of year. So those are the 2 smells that I've really been enjoying. Just plain peppermint oil, or if you want something a little bit more, probably harder to track down, but worth it. This Mermaid Tears is really, really wonderful. And I think that's it. I think that's my favorites of 2017. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and last thing I wanted to say that I'd like to try for 2018 and wanted to see if anybody had any experience with this um, was some sort of, I guess that you would call it a chemical exfoliant in the term in form of either Retin-A or Obagi, which I've been trying to research a little bit more about. But the people that I found that have the most flawless skin, sometimes it's just that they've used Dove soap and Ponds and they just have great genetics. But people that I know that have really put a lot of effort into it and seem to have beautiful results use one of the two or a combination. And I just wanted to see if anybody had any opinions about that, or if they use either one or had a good or bad experience. I know that you do have to go through a peeling phase with both of them, which I think I could handle. I think I could handle that, especially if the long-term benefits outweigh the temporary peeling. Something that I wanted to try and look into were the chemical exfoliates. So that's all I have for my kind of look back at 2017 and a few things to look forward to in 2018. What is the matte finish? Let me see. Marie Mom says, I wanted to try the new Morphe palette that just came out a few days ago. It's a little bit more expensive. It's $29. Oh, okay. What is it called, Marie Mom? Oh, the Anastasia? Yeah, I mean, I would try any of them. That's why it was hard for me to decide, like, because it's an investment, you know? Okay, so Bless, it is called Makeup Forever. Well, I don't know if you were in here, Bless, when I was talking about when one of the ladies that I watch said that the Makeup Forever eye palette that they had at the holidays was her favorite that she's ever used. I don't know if you've used that one or not. I'll have to write that down though. Maureen, Mom, how are you feeling, honey? Okay, so did y'all notice the coloring on my computer changed? It was very strange. I don't know what ended up happening, but I look less orange. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching me. I really do feel out of practice and feel a little strange doing this, but thank you guys for jumping in and for saying hello and for listening to me babble on about my favorites and do a little bit of preaching about recovery. And look for those interviews that I have coming up. But I'll come back on. Maybe I'll come back on tomorrow anyway, just to say hello, because I miss you guys. I want to get back into the practice of doing this. And thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful night. Stay warm, stay safe. We got like 8 inches of snow yesterday, so I've been snowed in since yesterday. I'm not sure if I'll go out tomorrow or not, because I still have my scooter. Let me show you still my scooter over here. Which, probably not the best thing to take out in the snow. Let me show you all my table decorated for Valentine's Day. I don't know if y'all can see that okay, but anyway, have a great night, everybody. We'll probably see you tomorrow. Good night. Take care.